time for your Pick'em Pros starting lineups. First, from Warrenville, Illinois, the winner of Season 1's NFL picks, the host and head coach of Pick'em Pros, Derrick Thompson. From Raleigh, North Carolina, the Carolina Panthers homer and back-to-back NFL picking champion, host and picking guru of Pick'em Pros, Diego Thompson. Please welcome from Wendell, North Carolina, Lamar Jackson and Los Angeles Lakers apologist, Pick'em Pros sports analyst Christopher C-Pain Davis. From Glendale, Arizona, the princess of Pick'em Pros and award-winning sports storyteller, Pick'em Pros athlete correspondent Brianna. Now, make some noise.
Making plays is our profession. Do it big, it's now or never. I got game like I'm moving clever. We be reaching all different levels. Never breaking, we hitting the pedal. Right on time, we ride on schedule.
Christopher C-Pain Davis. Whew. Man, we tried to tell you about the Lakers. We tried to tell you. We tried to save you from yourself. You know what? We're about to start the show, but before we do that, we've got a little footage that we need to roll back. Go to the tape.
Shout out Rob Pelinka for the greatest highway robbery I've ever seen. That was amazing.
Are you concerned that there's something deeper going on? I mean, for the Mavs to just let Luka go like that?
I'm just very excited to see what the rest of the season and what the future holds for the Lakers. Because honestly, I don't still think we're a championship team. I don't think automatically we're going to the finals.
Diego, what's my life lesson? Do you know my life lesson?
I don't think I know.
You don't know which one I'm talking about? All right. The life lesson is when something seems too good to be true, it normally is.
Hey man, we gonna see. We gonna see.
We gonna see. We gonna see. We gonna see. So we know that as round by round, you are going to continue to pick the Lakers when it comes down to it. So why don't you once and for all, in front of our live audience here at Kings in Raleigh, North Carolina, why don't you be a man and say the Lakers are going to win the NBA championship this year? Say it with your chest.
I am fully willing to say that the Lakers are not going to win the NBA championship. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Okay. Do you see how OKC plays?
Yeah.
Like, that's all I'm saying. Like,
yes.
I don't listen.
Yes.
As much as a big fan of the team I am very realistic. Do we have the guys to keep up with a team that talented when we are very top heavy with three very solid, great players, right?
Mm-hmm.
But again, very top heavy. Sometimes our bench doesn't decide to show up.
Diego, who is Chris going to pick?
Going to pick LeBron and the Lakers.
Thank you. You can't help yourself.
I can't.
You can't help it.
I can't. I'm honestly.
How we're moving after the season, after seeing Luka's 45-point performance versus the Dallas Mavericks, which again, you know, out of shape, but he put 45 on you. I just want to say, hey, that's all I'm going to say about that. You got to make him regret it. You got to make him remember. You got to make Dallas realize that you made one of the greatest mistakes in NBA history. So,
but it's mighty funny, you know, with the Lakers and Luka. Luka comes out and looks like he's 87 years old. Okay. And all of a sudden the Lakers aren't going anywhere. And then he has one good game against he has one good game against
The Brooklyn Nets are like some bad team.
yeah,
Like,
some awful team. And then all of a sudden, Luka is doing it. And it is the craziest thing
no
to
one
see.
talks about the bad game.
The up and down nature of this team.
Look at hey, clip this one. This needs to be the clip that needs to be shown.
It's getting good to him, Diego.
Yo,
it's getting good to him.
It's
getting good to him.
Come on.
Hey, Chris,
Listen,
who you got?
So I know this whole season I've been hedging my bets. But after seeing Luka in that Dallas game, I'm sorry. So Luka is going to turn up. Could potentially be Finals MVP when we beat the Celtics in 7 games. That's my Finals prediction.
At least we're not hiding being home.
I'm not hiding that at all.
We called this weeks ago, a month ago. We told you what you were going to do.
Every week, I was like, "Nah, I'm nervous now."
We're gonna win it.
The week is at an all-time high.
Now, Chris, you do realize that the Lakers are not going to play the Brooklyn Nets in the playoffs.
Not at all.
Okay.
I'm not scared.
Right.
I'm not scared. I'm not backing down. Them tears moved me. I don't know if they moved anybody else, but they moved me.
Hey y'all, how's everybody? Man, alrighty. Yeah. Wow. A lot of things were said, let's just mention there were a couple series I picked correctly. Celtics series, the Cavs series, the Knicks series as well. Much more still wrapping up the Western Conference. I picked the Thunder, picked pretty much, can't win them all.
Yeah.
But had some very, very. We 5-3 ain't too bad. Actually, no, we still got 2 series in the tournament. I might be 7-1 actually. So we gonna see. We're gonna
see. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You know who it is. I am Derrick Thompson.
I'm Christopher Davis.
And Diego is not here, but hey, who are we?
The Pick'em Pros.
We are the Pick'em Pros coming back at you in the house with a special episode of Who You Got. Father and the dude I'm about the son here, Christopher, Mr. C-Pain Davis. What's going on, my man?
I mean, as you can tell after rewatching all of those clips of me, man, I really doubled down. Like, I find it hilarious how much I stood on business, and I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine without a center, and then we actually made Rudy Gobert look like Wilt Chamberlain in Game 5. So I was like, I don't know. I think that very, very rough watch. I said Lakers in 6. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. It was Wolves in 5. And shout out to Anthony Edwards. Just
Joe. First of all, shout out to everyone that makes the show happen. We got Joe here on the control board. We got Summer behind the scenes. We got the whole video crew that makes Kings go. So shout out to everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching us and checking us out. But Joe, man, you're normally on it, but it is freezing in this studio today, man. It is freezing. My God. So you know what? I need a hoodie. I was trying to wear short sleeve, but I need to put. My gosh, It is freezing in here today.
Wow. Okay.
So let me, man, I don't know what's going on, man. It is so super chilly. Super chilly, man. Let me put, hold on, y'all. Excuse me.
Just like Minnesota.
Let me put a hoodie on, man. Let me get straight here.
Cold like Minnesota.
Yeah, hold on, man. Let me get it's a little chilly. Bear with me here. Adjust. Okay, there we go. Yeah, and then let's hit the first image here on the screen. Let's hit our Lakers gone fishing here. All right, so Lakers have gone fishing, and I think C-Pain has joined them. So man. So man, let's just talk a little bit about Luka and that fool's gold, man.
Yeah, very much fool's purple and gold. This playoffs. Luka just was inconsistent again. I did mention though that my fear was that that LeBron at 40 could not be the best player on this team. We needed Luka to step up.
Yes.
Austin Reeves also had a very bad series. We didn't play our center. We Game 4, we decided to run our 5 starters into the ground without substituting, which JJ Redick got really upset about. Which again, hey, you're a young coach, bro. Listen, this is your first rodeo. You feel me?
Yeah.
And hopefully, you can learn and we can get back to something. I have no idea. Honestly, it wasn't a feeling of dejection because honestly, after Game 4, I was like, okay. After Game 3, where I was like, okay, it seemed like we gave them our best shot. And then Game 4 was like, okay, it felt like we gave multiple knockout punches, and the Wolves just kept swinging. Yeah, that hurt a little. So, we're going home. And picking up is so crazy right now, man. Anyway, I think that again with my Los Angeles Lakers, I believe. I don't want us to start turning into Cowboys fans. You feel me? That was I feel like, we're starting to become that where it's like, oh, every year it's our year. Cowboys. We're gonna be, and again, y'all know how I feel about Cowboys fans. So seeing my team become that team of just like, oh, every year we're gonna win, every year we're gonna win. I should have been more realistic and hedged my bets like how I did at the Kings show. I drank the Kool-Aid, man. I'm sorry. That was my bad. That was my bad.
You couldn't help yourself. You couldn't help yourself, man. We know, like my wife, we know you better than you know yourself.
Man. Yeah, y'all do. Because that was bad.
All right. Well, we're gonna lay off you a little bit now. So we gave you a hard time, but it happens. It happens. It doesn't happen to me, but it happens. It happens to most. It happens to most of us out there.
All right.
So,
all right.
So with LeBron James, you got LeBron James. So he is, I guess, he is in a player option year here, so he can opt into his $50+ million. So with LeBron making max money again, is it worth it? Yes, he's box office, one of the top players in the league. Yes, of course, we all understand that. However, can LeBron James continue to make max money and win a championship?
I don't think he can. And I don't know what point he's at in his career where he's like, okay, I'm stuck. I'm happy with my 4. Let me just wind it down, get as much money as I can make, and just have my farewell tour. Or if he's like, no, we really have a good team and we can run it back now. My other thing is if we have a player like Luka Doncic, the one thing I did notice with the Dallas Mavericks, even though Nico Harrison did say defense wins championships, they did have very solid defenders around him, like a PJ Washington. And it's just, we need dogs like that around him.
Yes.
So it's not just Luka be the one who's constantly getting hunted.
Yeah.
So again, even during the playoffs versus the Wolves, especially in Game 4, you see LeBron coming up with all these defensive stops, and I'm like, okay, this is like great. You're showing that why you're an all-time great at 40, but nobody else is making a defensive stop. Everybody is late rotating. Somebody's not making the right play, and it's just, I think that in order to get the pieces that we need to compete for a championship, he's gonna have to take less money. I think that I don't even know if trades can fix it, or we help a free agent, gets like blinded by the bright lights of Los Angeles. So it's like, come here, you'll be famous, and you'll have to deal with the internet sometimes hating you if you don't play well. Like that's just
play for a lower salary. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
Rough.
I think he's going to have to Tim Duncan it and take less. And really, they sound crazy and people will go nuts on this if they see this clip, but he's really going to have to be the third option. But he can't be, in this, apron structure and how the salary cap is right now, you can only pay 2 people max money.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't have the game right now to be one of those 2 people to make max money. Again, he's not a knockdown, drag out shooter. Okay. His main skill is leadership, which is phenomenal. And he's still one of the best passers, if not the best passer in the league.
Yeah.
But you can't make max money with that skill set. He's slowing down. You could see that in this series. It was definitely an issue.
Is even still, like when you see like the heroics of LeBron, the scary thing about it was, we're still not going to win this game. Like even still, even if after like it was like the back-to-back threes in Game 4 again, I was like, we have a chance. Right? I was like, this still feels like the game's in the bounce. Typically, like 5 or 6 years ago, you would think, oh man, we're about to wrap this game up. We're about to win this series.
Yes. The Timberwolves played awful in that Game 5. They shot one of the worst percentages.
7 of 47. And we still
Ant-Man was what, 0 for 11?
0 for 11, and he's talking. And again, listen, because of that 43-11 game, he could talk as much crap as he wants. Listen, I will never say. I do think it's crazy that you shot 0 for 11, but again, you beat us in 5 because and I beat everybody. And they was talking about Lakers in 5 because of a because of a certain tight end. Shout out, because of our guy. Shout out to
Shay.
Yeah, salute. But I think that when it comes to that, it was just.
Yeah,
it was a rough series, and as a Lakers fan, it showed the glaring need for a center because Rudy Gobert should not look like. And again, when Shaq is on the halftime show praising Rudy Gobert, there is a serious,
that's right,
serious problem that we have at the center position. Like that's turn it on the halftime show, see like Shaq be like, oh, Rudy Gobert's dominating. That was a death blow. That hurt me.
They have to give the keys to Luka, and they have to build this team the way that Dallas was building the team around Luka last year. So Luka has to be ball dominant. They've got to build a defensive team around him, build some sharpshooters around him where he can dribble the air out of the ball and either shoot a step back shot or kick it out to somebody and have some, defenders or lob it up to, the dunker. So that's definitely what they're going to have to do. But let's go ahead and transition here to Ant-Man.
Oof.
All right. And his quest to take down all of the legends. So we know that he took down KD last year, swept him.
Yep.
All right. And that was something the Suns haven't been the same since.
Gotcha.
So
and
now and then he went and took down the champs at the time, the Nuggets, beat them in 7. That was an amazing comeback. And then they folded to the Mavericks, and I was very disappointed in how he let Luka come in his house. And again, not so much beat them, but the way he was able to talk to the fans, the way he was able to talk to Gobert, and there was never any type of pushback. And so I was very, very disappointed in that. But I was proud of Ant and the way he stepped up, made big shots, throwing the signs to Luka after he made them. And you could tell early on that he felt some type of way about how that happened, and he wasn't going to let that happen this year. So big props to Ant. How do you feel about Ant-Man?
I think that he's now the Kingslayer, as Adidas, rated him in a very great promotional image for him. I think that, it's scary. The fact that mind you, I didn't acknowledge the fact that he's actually my age because I've seen him play basketball for all these years.
Right.
But I'm like, wait, he's 23, I'm 23. Okay, and you're out here, not literally taking out legends in the game. I mean, what he did in this series, and again, being the best player, and again, this is Game 4 was the moment I was like, okay, this guy is really the best shooting guard, possibly definitely top 10 player in the league, because 43 and 11, you're making all the key defensive plays, you're making all the key passes, you're the big shots. Every single moment that the game can switch, you're making the big play. Right. I was in awe because I was like, I don't know if I've seen a young player come in and just be like, okay, let me start getting rid of the old guard. I'm here now. And and even still, you remember the clip going viral a couple months ago about him talking to Obama and him saying that he's the truth. And everybody was like, oh, why is he so confident? And the older generation was kind of like, why is he so confident? I'm like, I mean, look at the resume he's already stacking up. You feel me?
He's doing
it. I think that, again, most people who are fans of the league love Ant because of the flamboyance, because of the charisma that he has. And again, it helps the fact that he's transitioned from mostly dunking and doing all that to being a very, very good 3-point shooter. My goodness. Some of the threes he was hitting in those series was demoralizing. And I think that, the face of the league conversation is very real for him. I hope that he becomes that. But I did want to ask you, because I remember us having a conversation about this on the way home from one of the shows, but I asked you, does it restore that MJ feeling for you?
Absolutely.
After this series, especially.
Absolutely. I've never felt that anybody brought the magic that Michael Jordan brought to the league until the playoffs, those first few rounds last year.
Gotcha.
I never had that feeling, even with Kobe, rest in peace. As phenomenal as Kobe was, I never had that feeling that I had those first 2 series. And I remember even talking to other people that were my peers, and they were all getting excited, oh man, because just the way he attacked his opponent, the way he attacked the basket, the charisma, just everything. He embodies a lot of what I used to see with Jordan.
Gotcha.
So he continues on this path, he will absolutely be the face. And can win many titles. And what I also love that they're doing in Minnesota is they're not doing what so many other teams are doing, whereas they're taking, just because you're the best player on the team, they're making you the point guard.
Yeah.
I hate that. I can't stand that with SGA and, some of these other players that aren't pure point guards. But since they're the best player on the team, they just have them bringing the ball up and making the decisions. I can see sometime and in crunch time, but I like it when there's a designated point. And I love the fact that with Minnesota, they've got Conley.
Gotcha.
And I think he brings a lot of stability. So I hope they never deviate from that. I hope they can always align him with a strong point guard. But yes, to answer your question, man, he is the closest thing I've seen since Jordan.
And to me, Anthony Edwards, it's just, it's spectacular. Just see what he does. I hope, and again, I really think that the media and everything, the star power, the brightness of LA really overshadowed how well constructed this this Wolves team is. And also Rudy Gobert, great series, man. I tip my cap because after all the crap everybody talked about you not guarding on the perimeter, there was some plays that you were making guarding LeBron and Luke. I was like, hey, I gotta tip my cap to you, man. And even still, like Nas Reed, Jaden McDaniels, Nikhil Alexander-Walker, all of them, they're such a well-constructed team. Whereas a Lakers fan, I'm envious because it's like, okay, there isn't, even though it is the best player, it still has to dominate. There isn't as much pressure as it is on a LeBron or a Luka. So I definitely want to. I'm gonna give the Wolves the props for this series, man. It's a
lot of props, and on top of that, we look at the moves. Giving away Cat or trading Cat, I should say. A lot of people thought that was an awful move.
It's over for
him. And then bringing in Julius Randle, who would underachieve in the playoffs and fizzle out, had injuries. He was phenomenal. Was physical with LeBron, had that dog. Now, I'm curious to see, okay, if he gets his money, what's going to happen. So, I don't want to get too crazy with Randall, but I love what he did.
I need to see how he does next round now before we, because the whole thing is
it's matchups.
Yeah, it's matchups, and the whole time with Randall, it's like he'll show up in some games, and then some playoff games he doesn't. It's I mean, hey, right now, great series, man. I hope y'all continue. I low-key want to see what happens the rest of the playoffs because I'm like, nobody was talking about you guys, and you put the league on notice. Let's see how the rest of these playoffs go for y'all.
Because can you imagine if, just with the battle of the Titans, if we end up having with SGA, right? He and Joker, they're battling for MVP. A lot of people think SGA will probably get it. So if SGA and Joker are battling next round, if that ends up happening, that's amazing. Then could you imagine in the conference finals if it's SGA and Ant? Man. And then that would really be the battle for, all right, who's the guy?
Who's the next guy?
Oh, wow.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm just,
that would be something. Yeah.
But great series to the Wolves.
Yes. Shout out to
I'm going to give y'all props because that was,
doing that thing for sure. All right. Well, let's move on. I am going to we're going to talk about the Pistons because I know you had a question about that. But before we do that, want to promote our King shows. Again, we have 8 shows at Kings a year. Our last show was great. Thanks for everybody that came out. We are getting ready to this weekend roll out tickets for our next show, June 7th. It's going to be fire. We're getting ready to announce the guests for that. And it's actually what's going to be so great about that one is I don't think tickets are ever going to become available for the public. So those that have attended, because they've all sold out at least a week in advance. So those that have attended are, Pick'em Pro members, VIPs. They are going to get an email this weekend with a link to get first dibs on the tickets. If we have any left, then we'll open those up. So our social media messages will be basically encouraging people to join our wait list off top. So that's a pretty cool position to be in. So thanks for all the love and support. We appreciate that. And we can't wait for this next show at Kings. All right. So Detroit Pistons.
Yep. So after, a hard-fought series that should have gone 7 games, if we're being honest, I really like this Detroit team. Even with losing Isaiah Stewart and Jaden Ivey, they still were able to perform against a very experienced Knicks team. So I wanted to ask you, do you think that they're a threat in the East next year if they get another key piece? Does that say they get another scorer, like a Devin Booker, or they get a point guard that can take some weight off of him, like a Trae Young? What do you think the Pistons could be?
Oh, man, yeah. I like Trae Young.
Yeah.
I like Trae Young with this team. And the reason why is because, again, I'm on this point guard theme.
Yeah.
I think in order to beat the Celtics, because Celtics are just beyond loaded.
Gotcha.
And Booker, although Booker's phenomenal, Booker would be a great fit. But I don't know if that gets them over the hump because I think they still have, again, are they like everybody else? Do they have Cunningham playing the point?
They did bring up the ball, and it was just, it got rough towards the end of the game.
Exactly. Now, but with Trae, if they bring Trae, a guy that can run point, is a phenomenal passer, can shoot, space the floor, I love that. I don't know if that's enough, to truly beat them, but that and maybe another piece because the Celtics are so loaded, unless there's an injury or something like that, you have to take into account. And then the Cavs, man, that's going to be phenomenal when we see the Cavs face them. But I think that puts them beyond the Knicks.
Gotcha.
For sure.
Definitely.
For sure. Yeah.
And I think, again, with the Eastern Conference, seeing how well they played, how locked in they were on defense that whole series. And again, it took a Jalen Brunson just amazing move towards the end of that game in order for them to win it. I think that, they have all the potential. And I love this story. I mean, this team, 19 wins last season, didn't even get the number one pick that they wanted. Yeah. And now all of a sudden they're out here. I mean, 2 playoff wins for Detroit. Nobody would have thought about that. No. Especially people saying that, no, this series should have gone 7 games after that terrible call in game 4.
It should have. It should have.
Shout out to Detroit. Yeah, man.
Shout out to Detroit. Shout out to the Detroit fan, man. Yeah. So much so to where after those first 2 games, I was like, man, did I get this wrong? I was really questioning because I wanted to pick Detroit. But, I just felt that, again, the experience was going to play a factor, and that's exactly what happened. But love what they're building, love what the coach is doing. I love the culture. And Detroit also suffered from Isaiah Stewart not being in there. So, and I don't even know really what the injury was. Yeah. But that's kind of a mystery, there. But that was definitely a big blow. I mean, he's one of their, top players, one of their enforcers. I could just imagine how physical the series would have been with him. So, they definitely missed him. But, big shout out to Detroit Pistons, Detroit basketball. Yeah. Great to have that back. All right. Well, let's move on here. Oh, boy. Let's go to the Warriors Rockets series. That is game 6 playing tonight. So, it's 7:30 p.m. Eastern, Friday, May 2nd right now. I think this is a 9 o'clock tip, 9 or 9:30, somewhere in there. Oh, yeah. Man, in the Bay, Golden State. No, Diego is going to be, pins and needles for this. Wife is going to be, interested in this one. And, the Warriors going to close this out tonight in 6?
I think they can, but this series is also very physical. I mean, I've just seen every single time, there's a hard foul, somebody's trying to fight somebody. Listen, one thing I will say about the playoffs is the feeling of the tough and gritty basketball. If anybody says that they've been missing that, you guys are not watching at all. I think that this series, again, so much of it relies on Steph and Jimmy in the clutch, though. And seeing what Ahmed Thompson has been able to do and just really be a great defender versus Steph. And again, my issue has been the consistency of Jalen Green because Shedeur has definitely showed out in the series. But I feel like, again, the Rockets, because they're a younger team that nobody expected to be as good, I was really confused with the ending of Game 5 because I was like, okay, if you're cutting the lead to 12, why not just at least see if Steph can have a magical Steph moment real quick? Yeah. That was kind of my reservation with the end of Game 5. But I do think that in this Game 6, I mean, it's the Warriors arena. They're at home. This is you know who your opponent is already. Yeah. So I feel like stop playing with your food. Handle your business. Because if we end up Houston back there, Game 7, anything can happen in the Game 7. So I really hope that the Warriors lock it up tonight. I just, again, it's Jimmy or Steph in the clutch, and we just got to see that come through. We'll see. Yeah, Jimmy. We know Jimmy's gonna step up. That'll be big. We'll see how they're able to contain Steph tonight. But for Warriors fans, I'm concerned with how much the Warriors celebrated. After that Game 4. Game. I think they had confetti coming out of the ceiling. They were on one for that whole game. So I love the energy that they brought, but the way they celebrated, put it this way, if the Rockets had celebrated the way that the Warriors celebrated, the Warriors would be accusing them of, acting like they, should be there before. So that was that was very interesting. It felt like they thought that the series was over at that point. And they're going to be in a battle. So I think this is similar to me to the Memphis series a couple years ago because it was they had great couple games, and then it's they were up 3-1, and then they just get blown out by the Grizzlies at home, and then they have to come back. But it's like this team is kind of like different, and even it's a different beast as a young team. I understand that they're inexperienced.
Right.
You guys know how game sixes can go, but it's like stop playing with your food. Like this is like y'all can claim to be we can claim that they're the special veterans. You know they've been here before, but it's like if you've been here before, don't give any team a glimmer of hope, because you give, and especially as Warriors fans, y'all should know, never give a team a glimmer of hope, because the second that happens, y'all are gonna be home. So I really hope that they lock in tonight and win, but because I need to get all the rest of my predictions right, so we can just laugh about me just being only wrong about the LA Lakers. Y'all ruined a perfect streak, LA. Just understand, y'all ruined a perfect streak. I would have got every player. Actually, no, the Bucks one I got wrong. So yeah. But again, 6-2, that would have been great. That'd be great. But, LA got us. Y'all let me down.
And then we'll see what happens with the game tomorrow night, Game 7.
Yes.
So we'll talk about that next. But that'll impact your record.
Definitely.
There. So we will see. All right. Well, can't wait for that one. We're gonna check that one out tonight. I kind of want to, I selfishly want to see a Game 7. Just for my Sunday, I want to, be able to get my food and just that'll add so much to my Sunday to have a Game 7 in H-Town. I think that'll be great. That'll be great for the Thompson household. So we'll see.
Not for Diego. Diego gonna be stressed.
It might be another Diego collapse. The collapse on the ground like you did when Duke lost. So, and then I have to sit there and not really dig in. All right, because mom will get on me. So I gotta hold back and not really give them I have to get all my business in like first quarter.
Gotcha.
I can be rah, but then like second half, if it's close, I got to pull back. I can't really go too hard. No, I can't go too hard, man. Too funny, man. All right, so can't wait for that. All right, so next one, man. Oh boy, woo!
What a
Clippers Nuggets. This is going 7, fittingly so. It should go 7. I believe you and Diego both had the Clippers in this series. I had the Nuggets, and I even said Nuggets in 6. I said Nuggets in 6. You said Clippers in 7. So you're on par with that. I think Diego probably said Clippers in 7 as well. We're going to give him that. So, man, tomorrow night in Denver.
Yeah, so I'm really happy with how James Harden performed last night, because big moment. James Harden, sometimes it gets a little shaky, and he really did his thing. So very, very good to see that. See Kawhi again do his thing. Norman Powell has been great this series. Nick Batum having his moments and just hitting key threes. And the resurgence of Kawhi. That's what I've been very excited to see. And I think that, again, the Clippers, they are a team that I feel like is going to get hot at the right time. And if they play the Thunder, they have to be very worried, because there is because that is yet another veteran team against a younger team. And I feel like the Thunder, they have the defenders to match up, but again, it's are you going to be able to go up against people who have been on deep playoff runs before?
Right.
So that's and with the Nuggets. I mean, Russell Westbrook has had it's high variance moments where it's hey, either he's the reason why they win, or he is you can point to him as the reason why they lost. And man, the blown layup, the blown dunk, I was like, Ross, what's going on? Because literally it was the first, it was game 3 or something, where he was the reason why they won that game.
Right.
And then this one, it's what's happening? So I have a question I wanted to kick to you, but does Jokic's ranking as the best player in the world change if he loses in the first round this year? To you, at least.
Ooh, man, that's a good one. It depends on what happens for the rest of the series. Yeah. Because hey, if Tatum repeats and Tatum is back-to-back, although I don't know if anyone would still want to really call him best, because the Celtics are so stacked.
The team is, yes.
You have that. It really depends on what happens the rest of the series, but it is a conversation.
Yes.
I don't think it's a done deal that he's still the best no matter what.
Gotcha.
I think it's a serious conversation. And this is the other thing with the Nuggets. We've got to stop this narrative that the Nuggets are a one-person team and that they don't have any help.
Gotcha.
Okay, they have pretty much the same starting five, at least for the starting five from the championship. You've got Jamal Murray, who's balling out. You've got Gordon. Exactly. So, and you've got the other
Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah, you got Michael Porter Jr. So, no, they have a deep team.
Yes.
And so we got to stop this narrative that it's just Joker and that he's carrying the team. But it's a question.
Yeah.
It is a question. Yeah.
I think that honestly, because Giannis went outside, that's why that's my personal 1 and 2, just because of how they play.
Mm-hmm.
But again, both of them getting first rounded, and again, all the accolades, all of them being all-time players. It's okay, guys, we've seen y'all, win a championship and being able to lead your team there and backpack, but you haven't been able to do it consistently. And we're holding y'all in such high esteem. So that's why I started to question it. But I still think, to me at least, just what he does in the offensive end, forget about it. I think that, and again, because this MVP race is so close, because of how the annoying thing with his MVPs is the fact that there was one that should have gone to Embiid in the really early one, the first one. But it's this year, I'm I don't know what to say. You are the best player in the world.
Yeah.
It's just SGA happened to be what on the best team, and it's really tough. I think that Jokic's ranking it's not going to change, but it's a conversation of okay, as a number, we can say that he's the best player in the world, but so much more. You need to be more than the best player in the world to be on the championship team. You need more than just that one guy in order to win a championship. So that's why you got the Celtics, you got the Cavs, you got the Thunder, you got all these really deep teams. So
yeah. I think the only player that can truly take best player in the NBA by winning a title this year is Ant-Man.
Okay.
I think as SGA, he's probably going to be MVP anyway, and people will say that his team is so much more loaded than the Nuggets. So I think it inches him closer, but I don't think people will totally give him that. If Ant takes his team from a sleeper and wins the title, and people are already clamoring for him to be the face anyway,
it's going to be very easy transition to call him.
And he's already taken Joker out in the playoffs, and if they happen to play again, he takes him out again.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Oh, I didn't really think about that. I think that again, Ant is in a perfect position because again, he's the rare guard that
he's playing with house money,
who guards, locks up, and it is going to give you 40. So I think that it is the best balance of that. But I'm very excited to see Game 7, the end of this wonderful series, because this has been the best series of this first round. This first round was a little bit of a dud. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how did you feel about this first round overall? But...
well, it was top. You had some duds for sure, but then the ones that were great were great. Yes. So it was little top heavy, maybe I would say.
Gotcha.
Now when we go into this next round, you only have one that you're like, okay, that's probably Cavs Pacers. But everyone outside of that is going to be fantastic. That's going to be fire. So excited about that. All right, and then one other thing I want to bring up is Giannis.
Yes,
the freak. Man, I think he would be the perfect fit in Houston.
Yes,
man, because you already got the defense, you got the size, and you put him there and maybe get one other shooter. You already have Van Vliet, who's clutch, but you bring a pure shooter in. If they could somehow get Giannis, man, that would be, because you imagine Udoka.
Well, I know how you love Udoka. You know how I feel, but I think that Giannis,
man,
I just don't want him in the West, because again, that means that the West is the most loaded, in its history. And again, the West has always been more loaded than the East historically.
Yeah.
But I'm worried that he's going to go to the West. And I'm like, hey, LeBron, as a Lakers fan, I'm like, hey, let LeBron retire, because the battles were already crazy without another top 5 player going to this conference. You feel me? So it's oh man, I don't want to deal with that, man, in the Western Conference year after year, because I do want him to win more championships, because he's the reason why I even wanted to become a journalist. Watching that Bucks final series, I really I literally sat down and watched after hearing his stories throughout the entire finals, I was like, okay, I would report on this. I would like be there for that. You feel me?
Right.
So being in that moment, and that's why like he's one of my favorite players. I want you to get more championships and accolades because of how hard you play as a player. But man, I don't want you to go to the West. Selfishly, I'm like, please, just stay out because I want the problems.
Now I know we're gonna get back on topic here, but you don't want him to go to the West.
Yeah.
But man, could you imagine if you swapped him out for LeBron on the Lakers? Because you talk about a good fit.
Yes.
Now that's a good fit with Luka.
Because that would give us Magic and Kareem 2.0. And oh my goodness, I'd be ecstatic. But I'm just thinking like, what can we trade? But like, how much trade would Milwaukee have in LeBron? What picks would we be able to trade? That's just a full fantasy land thing.
And LeBron would never go to Milwaukee.
LeBron would never go to Milwaukee. But Giannis, I mean, if dream scenario likes retires this season and Giannis is like, okay, it's not going to necessarily look if I'm ring chasing, if I'm following in the likelihood of Lou Alcindor, which. Oh man, we be getting called all types of names on the internet because Luka trade already was like, we hate y'all. But if Giannis goes to us,
that's right.
Oh my goodness, I would not.
That might be something. He might have to go to the Clippers.
Go to the little brother team. Go to the Clippers. Go to Houston. Let's smoke on you, bro. Because you go to Houston, people ain't gonna be mad at Houston. You feel me? And you're a family man, so the city ain't gonna distract you. So you're gonna be all right. But
that's right.
You're gonna be okay. But man. I hope he goes to a good team in the Western Conference, if anything. But I stay in the East for a little while. But I know Milwaukee, they have not helped you at all. But
all right, well, all right, good chat. Well, we're gonna move on to talk about our next. We're gonna talk about some of these round 2 opponents before we get out of here and bring on Brandon at the end for the final take. But before we do that, I got a plug for our sponsor, Lexi's Bussin' Bacon. Again, check out her Instagram. Those of you that are here, North Carolina, Lexi's Bussin' Bacon has amazing treats, cookies, desserts, everything. Check them out. And it's run again by a 18-year-old high school student. So it's phenomenal. Very proud of her. She's always a part of our raffle at Kings, and just want to give her a shout out as one of our sponsors. You can see the cookies here in the front. All right. So let's move on to round 2. So we've got 2 matchups that we know of so far right now. All right. We were going to have the Boston Celtics and the New York Knicks. We were anticipating this. So Julian Heggie, who was on our show, he called out and said that the Celtics are going to win in 5. They did. Said they were playing with their food, but now they've got the New York Knicks and going to take care of business. So do the Knicks have any shot in this series?
All right. Karl-Anthony Towns just has to be at his best. That's the only way I see them winning the series. I mean, Jalen Brunson's going to be Jalen Brunson. You don't got to worry about that. He's going to show up. But it's just the inconsistencies of everyone else because Mikal Bridges will have a game to disappear. OG Anunoby's been consistent, but is that enough? Then you got the Celtics, who, again, that whole Magic series was like, it was like they were toying with their food a little bit. It was like, we're going to let y'all have a little hope. And then Derrick White, Drew Holiday, and everybody's going to turn up. And it's just like every single game came out like that. I feel like this will be a little bit more competitive because, again, the Knicks can match up well with them, and they have 2 wings that can guard Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. But that experience in the big moments is why I'm still pegging the Celtics to win. And right now because I did pick them to, my Lakers to win, I hope I can curse the Celtics. Okay. Hey, let's see y'all get Banner 19. I've never, that hurts to even say. But I do think that the Celtics, they got it. Like I don't see how they don't win this series, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Celtics take this in 6. Be a good series, but Celtics defense, I think this is a Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
I think Brown's going to be big in this series. Man, but Brunson's just been amazing. He's been absolutely fantastic. Love what Brunson is doing. Brunson, I consider him, and again, my definition of point guards are different. I don't consider SGA and Cunningham and all these other guys point guards. I consider Brunson the best point guard in the NBA right now, from my definition of a point guard. His footwork is impeccable, and he's the only guy of that size that can take his team single-handedly to the playoffs. You know, one exception. I'll throw Ja in there.
Yes.
I'll throw Ja. Yeah, Ja's the other guy. But I put Brunson ahead of Ja, clearly.
Of course.
So he is just phenomenal. And the way he got open for that last shot over Thompson against the Pistons was unreal. It looked like the way he got open, it looked like he pushed off.
It didn't at all. At all. It was flawless. So I think that the one thing with Jalen Brunson is the fact that he's gonna routinely show up. Like he's gonna he might be injured, I respect the dog that he has because even if like something bad happens with his ankle or like something else is messed up, there is a lot like he's going to lay it out all the court. It's very rare that you see players like that anymore. So shout out to Jalen Brunson. I really think that if your team just wasn't full of players who are inconsistent as heck, I would say that okay, like y'all can win it all, but it's I mean, it is what it is. I don't know if he can carry them against a juggernaut like the Celtics. So we're definitely gonna see. But man, what a great series versus the Pistons that he had. Yeah, I really think that he needs to be known as the best point guard in the NBA right now. Easily he won the most clutch player award, easily deserved because in the key moments, he definitely showed up in that series. So shout out to Jalen Brunson for
And I like the Knicks roster better last year. Yeah, I think they were a better team.
Because DiVincenzo was as a we're going back to that Wolves Lakers series. Dante DiVincenzo gave us fits.
He did.
Like my goodness, it was like the big shot. I didn't even know how good of a defender he was until I was watching that series. There was moments where he was shutting us down. Like he's one of those sneaky players. It's like if you could just turn and become a Laker. It's like there's certain role players who I like one on my team. Dante DiVincenzo is definitely one of them.
He is nice. Yeah, I really like him. Yeah, he's one of my favorite players right now. Love the way he's playing. But I think the Knicks they took a step back with those moves. I mean, bringing in Cat, who wouldn't want to have Cat, but just with the fit. I mean, I love the centers that they had. And then, DiVincenzo, Hartenstein, DiVincenzo, they just had a really great mix and chemistry. They were gritty, and it was the injuries that took them out last year. So I wanted to see that team play the Celtics. I wanted to see that so bad. And, we got robbed of that. So, I don't think it'll quite be the same this year. So we'll see what happens there and also see if the Timberwolves can hold on to DiVincenzo. So that'll be interesting to see what happens. There. All right. Well, let's talk about the last matchup here that we know of for round 2. We've got the we've got the Cleveland Cavaliers. Again, they had a monster year this year, regular season, and they're about to play the Indiana Pacers. Pacers coming off that showdown against the Bucks. And it's so funny because with the Bucks and Pacers, we were clowning them, talking about we knew NBA TV, but then you said ESPNU, right? And we laughed, but dude, last Friday they were on NBA TV and ESPNU. They were actually on ESPNU. I didn't even know that was possible, but they really were. So that was hilarious. But anyway, man, so we already know the Cavs are going to win this series. Yes. All right, so that's not even going to be who you got. The question is, can the Pacers win 2 games?
I mean, I believe they could if everything breaks right. But again, seeing how dominant the Cavs being dominant against Miami, I feel like that's fool's gold because there was a 37-45 team in the playoffs. Miami had no business being in the playoffs. I'm sorry. And this is why people are starting to argue to get rid of the play-in and all that. I say keep it because the playoff intensity earlier helps.
I agree.
But with the Eastern Conference specifically, it's like, it gets a little sticky once you get to the 10th seed because the 10th seed in the Eastern Conference is easily like 13-14 in the West.
For sure.
So it's like, man, I don't even know. I think that the Cavs again handled their business versus that team for sure. I do think that Indiana, they seem to have the requisite talent to maybe sneak one, but I don't know if they can get 2 off of them. And again, the Cavs, they seem like the well-oiled machine, so we'll definitely see how they do. But I don't want Pacers Celtics. Like, please.
Cleveland. Oh my God!
I don't want that again.
Please,
Cleveland,
no.
Handle your business.
Yes,
handle your business.
For all of our sakes.
Listen, we've won in that conference finals since the beginning of the season. Since we saw y'all like go go on those winning streaks. We're like, hold on now, Cleveland.
Yeah.
This is your moment to prove that y'all really some dogs. This is Donovan
Yes.
Mitchell's crowning achievement.
Mhm.
Hey,
Yeah.
handle your business.
Yeah.
That's all I'm
Mitchell,
gonna say in this series.
Cleveland Cavaliers, please make sure you stretch before the game. Stretch properly. Do not pull any muscles. Please stay
Hydrate.
healthy. We cannot have the
For
Indiana
sure.
Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. So
Not again.
for the economy, for the sake of ESPN, for the sake of a lot of us, please stay healthy and take care of
'Cause
business.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that team is way too. The Cleveland Cavaliers are way too talented to lose to this team. So
Yeah.
please, Cleveland, handle your business. Goodness,
got to. We got
please.
to. All right. Oh, we have a
Hallie Dad situation.
Oh, question. We got a question. Here we go. So, question from Josh. What do you think? What's up, Josh? Out of Cleveland. What do you think of the Hale?
Hallie Dad situation. The situation with
Yeah. The dad for Hollenberg. Yeah, Hollenberg. Man, we started to we didn't get to it. We're going to get to this probably another time because we have a segment planned where we talk about some of these dads that are acting more like the sibling, acting more like the brother than the homeboy than being the dad. You got Ja's dad. You got, now Lamar never was that, but he was just more loud and obnoxious. But he was never like, LeVar was never like a sibling. But that was uncalled for. It was bad. Now I do think in his defense, he got caught up in the emotion clearly, but there's no excuse.
But you
for it.
going
can't
up
do
to
that.
a player like just like that. Listen, man. I'm glad Giannis forget he's 6'11 sometimes. I'm glad. I'm so glad he forget how big I forget how big he is, because my goodness.
That's true.
I think that
that's true.
Yeah, Giannis has internal beef with the Pacers. Because I remember it was like the highest scoring game that he had, and they snatched the ball from him. They didn't give him the right game ball back. What is up with that? See, that's another reason why I don't want the Pacers to win. Because you're not good enough in a very average conference to talk as much trash as y'all do. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
The Celtics will take your lunch money every time. I hope Cleveland takes that too, because y'all are literally the fourth best team in the worst conference in the NBA.
Exactly.
Exactly. I don't know, right?
And that's why Halliburton was rated the most overrated player, because they just don't like him, because he's got the broke down jump shot, talking junk, and they're like a mid-tier team. They have no right to be up there talking as much junk as they do.
Yeah. I really feel like when it comes to certain teams, especially like younger teams, you have to earn that respect. The Thunder, they've earned that because they've been the one seed throughout the past few years. The Grizzlies earlier in that run, I feel like they earned it because of how dominant they were. The Pacers, a little too spicy for my liking. A little too spicy. So
I completely
I hope that
completely agree.
Yeah, that
completely
Hallie's dad, please stay off the court. You probably ain't even gonna make it to be on the court, because this series is gonna get real rough for you guys.
Well, and they've already announced he's not going to be at any games for the foreseeable future. So they already announced that. But it's interesting. He wouldn't have run up on Isaiah Stewart like that.
Not at all. Not at all.
He knew who he was running up on, similar to Draymond Green.
Yep.
Draymond conveniently picks on the European players.
Yep.
Right. He doesn't go up against certain guys. Yeah. That's how bullies are. People always assess
there was
the
an
situation.
old clip of Draymond when he was younger. Robert Horry was not Robert Horry. Metal World Peace was still in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, it's like we're crazy be actual crazy. It's like, hey, it's about to crash the 300s of the Phantoms. It get real. It get real.
That's right. All right. So thanks for the question. So all right. So we are going to bring Brandon on here in a minute, but I believe before we do that, you had a Shedeur. Talk about Shedeur for a second.
So with Shedeur sliding in the draft, I mean, it's a twofold thing, because one, I do believe the NFL did try to humble him and Dion, and basically said, and again, and not to play devil's advocate for the NFL, but Shedeur, if somebody could have been in his ear saying like, hey, they're not rating you as high, you got to show up to these events, because going to just having the pro day, not having the combine, not having the other workouts, your interviews allegedly being bad, all this stuff, that still doesn't warrant the slide, because I could understand second round if you weren't feeling Shedeur. Fifth round is absolutely bonkers. I'm sorry. I feel like again, if the first round's like, hey, like we don't, the Steelers or the Saints were like, hey, like we don't need a quarterback right now. We're good. But Tyler Shuck, after not even hearing about Tyler Shuck, Jalen Milroe, okay, the upside, maybe I could be sold on that. Dylan Gabriel was the one where I was like, all right now. Everybody's officially lost their mind on this one. And with Cleveland doing the whole, well, it's not you have to earn your spot. You're going to have to be this. I'm like, Cleveland, y'all have never been able to figure out a quarterback situation. Andrew Berry especially. I'm going to just say this. You traded for Deshaun Watson. And we know first off, we're going to take the off the field stuff outside because we know that's particularly heinous. The fact that he didn't even produce when he was on the field, and your backup quarterback, who is now much older, you had to re-sign because the fans were like, hey, he was actually the reason why we made the playoffs that year. Instead of the guy you traded and paid $200 million for. I don't think y'all are the best when it comes to quarterback evaluation, for being completely honest. So hopefully you don't break Shedeur. Hopefully Shedeur can get out of the quarterback hell that is known as the Cleveland Browns. Because even still, when you had Baker, was given all he got on the field for you, tore his shoulder up, had to come to us, and the reason why he was terrible was because his shoulder was still messed up. Then he goes to an actual team, you see him balling out. So Cleveland, I don't think that y'all are the best organization to be talking about, oh, it's taken out when it comes to quarterbacks. I'm glad Shedeur's drafted. I'm appreciative of the fact that we have the chance to see his talent in the NFL. But yeah, I just think like it's a messy thing all the way around. And I do feel like had they like had more inside knowledge about like where teams viewed Shedeur, that would have been better. But I still think it was an attempt to humble him. It's just
fifth round was pretty bad. But yeah, they needed to read the room better. I think a lot of those interviews beforehand hurt them especially with Dion, where they were saying that a lot of the other teams, shouldn't take them.
If they're not good enough,
not good enough. And so a lot of that definitely hurt. And teams were concerned, of that. But yeah, you have to know your situation, right? You've got the guy from Penn State, who's got all types of issues, right? He didn't have to do anything because of,
the guy from Marshall,
all the talent,
got drafted to the Ravens.
Right.
And again, I could understand if like Shedeur was a nuisance off the field, but even still, the Cleveland Browns signed Deshaun Watson. The NFL has never been great when it comes to like moral absolution. So the NFL getting on a high horse, being like, oh, like I got to keep this person healthy, knowing that you got a bunch of people doing some philanderous stuff in the league.
But I will,
it's a little crazy.
I will say though, for Shedeur, he has a great opportunity.
Yes,
because there is no other dominant quarterback there on that team.
Not at all.
And that Cleveland fan base, if he turns it around and actually makes them relevant and them good
in that division,
he will truly be legendary.
Yes,
like the size that he had in the room. So he can, if he can go in there and ball out, he could make it a great situation.
My thing is, y'all gave an allegedly very cocky person a chip on his shoulder. I think that's not the smartest thing y'all can do. So hey, NFL, I really want to see Shedeur ball out, but that was a crazy watch. Now again, the other conspiracy theory is that they let him fall so that more people will be interested in the draft, which I think is like. That's a little far fetched. You feel me? Because
I hadn't really watched the draft like that this year, so it worked for me. If that's what they did, it worked for me for sure. But I'm curious to see what happens there and with the drama. But that's a rabid fan base there, and if he can do his thing there in Cleveland, he'll start to build that stock up. And hey, Dak was a 4th round pick. He's gotten paid many times. All right.
Maybe too much, but
maybe a little too much.
Shedeur, you're gonna be worth it, baby. You're gonna be worth it.
All right. Well, let's bring our guy Brandon on. Tom Brady. Brady was picked late. Yeah. And then your guy, mystery relevant for the Niners, Brock Purdy, was truly the very last pick.
Took him to Super Bowl.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's bring on our guy Brandon. Brandon, we're gonna close out, man. With your final 3 minutes here, my guy. So let's get your camera on if you can get that going. Can you hear us, Brandon?
Oh yes, I'm here.
Oh, you good, my man? You good? Yeah, man. So here, I'm just gonna run down the list. I'm just gonna rapid fire on you here. All right. So, hey, Lakers in 5, man. What's your take on that that series? Did you see that coming?
Part of me yes, a part of me no, but I gotta give Minnesota credit what credit's due. They kept the Lakers down as advertised, and they closed it out. They didn't play around, so you gotta give credit to Ant-Man and the crew and the rest of the team for that. Didn't expect Rudy Gobert to have a game of a lifetime, but hey, it happens when you trade away AD. But so there's that. Ant-Man face of the league. He's shown some flashes of it. I felt like to me, I think he got to deliver a championship and Finals MVP for that to happen. Golden State, I felt like they can still close it out. I think I think they'll close out better in Game 6 as opposed to Game 5.
Yeah.
So there's that. Denver sports teams have 2 Game 7s going on tomorrow night at the same time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Denver Nuggets play the Clippers, and then the Colorado Avalanche plays the Dallas Stars on the road.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It should be and ironically enough, Colorado and Dallas Stars playoff series in hockey, it's the only Game 7 as of right now. So
that's ironic. Did not know that.
The thing of that's how crazy playoffs work, especially in hockey. Because there's no parity. I mean, there's no super teams or whatever in hockey, so a lot of teams are very evenly matched. So there's that. Giannis, I kind of do see Giannis going to the West. I would say don't be surprised if Golden State just magically pull a 2016 offseason again. Where they just clear the players and say, hey, we'll get rid of 4 or 5 players and try to go after Giannis. Don't be surprised if they do that.
Oh boy.
WNBA preseason just started. Dallas is playing Vegas right now.
Okay.
So shout out to Paige Beckers and them.
Yeah.
Obviously they got some injuries, but in sports, it's humanly impossible to go through a full season without an injury. They got some injuries in the W so far. They have a docu-series highlighting women's sports in college called Full Court Press.
Okay.
Airing tomorrow night on ESPN Plus.
Okay.
It's run by it's an Omaha production crew that's run by Peyton Manning. So shout out to them for that.
You want to check that out?
Sure. I would say before I go, congrats to Pop in his retirement. Obviously, he's retiring, 29 years of coaching for him, 5 titles, winningest coach ever.
Yeah.
Arguably the greatest coach in NBA history. I wish he would have, ended it better, but hey, congrats on his retirement and want him to enjoy his retirement.
Big time. Well said, Brandon. Well, yeah, thanks for keeping us updated. You dropped a lot of knowledge in those 3 minutes. There's a lot that we didn't know about the docu. Greg Popovich giving him his flowers and the WNBA preseason and everything. And love getting your takes and the wrap up, man. That's why we got you wrapping things up for us, my man. So we love it. All right.
And also, May 16th, that's when the WNBA regular season starts. You got
all right.
The Fever in the Sky, and then Aces and the Liberty opening night.
Man.
Then you have Big 3 basketball in June.
Okay.
Along with Champions League soccer in June. So there's a lot, obviously Kemba Walker and Dwight Howard's now in the Big 3 with Ice Cube. So
Man.
It should be a unique. It's season 8 for them in Big 3 basketball, so it's gonna be a lot of sports in the summertime. So
okay, we'll be checking it out, and that's when we'll be back. Friday, May 16th will be our next show right here in the studio. So yeah, all right. Well, yeah, thank you. That's even more information that we need to know. So all right, Brandon. Well, hey man, we'll let you get back to it. Thank you so much, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks, my man.
All right, we'll see. All right.
Thank you. All right. Yeah. No, that's fantastic, man. So yeah, next weekend, again, Mother's Day weekend. So make sure, we all take care of mom, take care of wifey, take care of everybody. So happy early Mother's Day to my wife, my mother, Granny, Deanna, everybody, all the women in our family, Summer, everybody. Let's wish an early Mother's Day. We're gonna get ahead of the curve here. That's how we do here at Pick'em Pros.
Happy Mother's Day to my mom, my grandma, my Aunt Dolores. You feel me? Appreciate y'all. You feel me? This has been great. So, but it's a great episode. Very great episode.
Oh yeah, it's been good, man. So yeah, man, Diego, you better step your game up, man. You better come back on fire. Hair better be on fire when you come back. All right. All right, cool. One last thing again, hit our site for the merch, thepickempros.com. Got a whole lot of hot merch that has been released and more coming out next week. So keep on checking it out. A lot of hot stuff, thepickempros.com. You want to definitely get that and stay plugged in. All right, well, we are going to get out of here. And as we roll out, on our show at Kings, last week we had Tommy V and Johnny O drop the Pick'em Pros remix on us, and that was phenomenal. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go out to that performance. So we'll see y'all next time. Much love. Again, happy Mother's Day. We'll see you in 2 weeks, and we're going to go ahead and hit the outro here for you. All right. Until then, we'll see y'all. Pick'em Pros. We are out. We'll see you later. Thank you.
Peace.
When I say pick 'em, y'all say pros. Pick 'em, pros. Pick 'em, pros. When I say pick 'em, y'all say pros. Pick 'em, pros. Pick 'em, pros. Let's go. Yeah. Woo. We in here. Yeah. Yeah.
Pick'em Pros is the show you've been waiting for. In the know, kissing clothes and your favorite sport. NFL, NFL, NBA and more. Making your day for sure. Link in and take a tour.
Game flow, they know. Not your same old. Come and see the double D's, Derrick and Diego. Dropping that knowledge you want. Professional college and on. Lock in and follow the fun. A dynamic duo of father and son. In the mix with the greatest, we'll get you acquainted with Christopher Davis. He's sick with the Lakers, but picking your favorites. He's paging the game and updating the playlist. And we gotta show love for the ladies and shout out Brianna, the future of females in sports and recording. So toggle and follow and know that you're reporting. Danger way, keeping you up on the latest wave. Giving you stats, opinions, and facts, and breaking down all the greatest plays. Special guests showing love, all the fans show the team. We the best, #1. You already know the name is Pick'em Pros is the show y'all been waiting for. In the know, kicks and clothes and your favorite sports. NFL, NBA and more. Making your day for sure. Link in and take a tour. Start on the right track with the Pick'em Pros anthem. It's not random, it's double tandem. It's the feature and a feature, then it's come in a fandom. When it comes to the right pick, they're all psychic. Even C-Pain is sidekick. Boom, the activity is seismic. On a mountain so high, can't climb it. Wanna be on a team that elevates at a better rate than a featherweight versus a heavyweight. There ain't no better way. Gotta let them demonstrate second and on with the numbers they generate. With the interstate like field goals, and they never take it to be steel toes, and they blowing up on a real low. And when it comes to them, you know what deep it's on that island. Every social platform shouldn't be that hard to find them. Every north to the south, east and west. Everybody knows the father always knows best. Pick'em Pros is the show y'all been waiting for. No kicks and clothes and your favorite sport.